Hello, everybody. Dale Dickerson, Coach Jason Russell, back for another season of the Coaches Show. Coach, it's that time of year when football fans have been looking forward since last whistle last year. We're ready to lace them up.
Hey, look, I'm so excited. I mean, it's this time of year is special to so many. It's special at my house for sure, and it's just there's a magic in here when you start fall and start football season.
Yeah, my wife's been counting down the days till college football starts, so she knows she's got a ticker on her iPad, knows how far it's going to be for the next whistle snows. So we're looking forward to it.
Well, good.
Let's talk a little bit about the season this year. We got first year ever. We got a 7A class and a 6A. We stayed 6A. We're going to talk a little bit about how that affects us and our new rivals and what happened to some of our old rivals in our schedule.
Yeah. I mean, 7A to 6A, 6A, 7A deal, it helps us a little bit in the fact that we're not one of the small schools. The previous classification only went up to 6A. Well, 6A was such a large classification of differences. We actually had an entire 5A school less kids than our competition that was in conference, several schools. So it made a big difference as far as how many kids you could have out and everything. The numbers are a little bit are definitely better now, where we're competing against schools that are similar size to us, which is definitely helpful. Now that's not to say that we don't have good competition, because we've got a really tough district and we've got it's going to be tough week in and week out. We've got of course Lake Comront's in there with us in county. Center Hill is our first game in district. That's going to be a tough game. In a rivalry game for us. Grenada, my former boss actually just took the job there, so that's going to be a big game there as well, because it's us versus Grenada. Coach Fair's down there now, and so we've got a tough conference. It's going to be every week is going to be a tough game, and there's no let up. I counted the other day. I was looking at it, and we have 5 rivalry games on our schedule. So we are constantly going to be in a state of, an excited game and tough competition. So.
And we still got South Panola. We didn't lose South Panola. They stayed
right.
with us.
Yep.
Well, let's talk a little bit about our pre-conference schedule. I know there was a couple of issues that we were trying to schedule some of our older opponents.
Yeah.
South Haven is always the backyard brawl, which was always something everybody looked forward to.
Certainly.
And I think you and I talked about we just couldn't work that out with them.
That's
with
right.
The way our pre-ski schedule started.
That's right. When you look at it, you're basically, you've got 5 games and you've got to align everything to match up. And if your schedule and their schedule doesn't match up, then it doesn't quite work out. And so from a preseason schedule or pre-conference schedule, we are still playing multiple rival games. We're still playing every school that touches Olive Branch or is an Olive Branch school. We're playing Center Hill. We're playing Lewisburg. We're also playing DeSoto Central. So we're playing all the schools that are actually here as part of the Olive Branch City. And then we've also got Horn Lake, which is another one of our historic rivals. And then, like you mentioned earlier, we still have on the schedule, we still have South Panola. So I hate that we don't have South Haven on there. I hate that we don't have Fernando on there. But it just, at some point, it's just scheduling. It's just logistics of being able to play everybody when they're not in conference. You're not going to get a chance to play everybody.
Well, that really changed the landscape of the county, because last year I think just about every school that was on our district was in our county. So
That's
it
right.
really changed a lot.
We played every single team in some way, shape, or form last year that was in the county, because we played Lake Comront for the spring game. So we literally played every single team. And of course, that's just, things have changed.
Okay, well, let's talk a little bit about the team we got this year. We got a lot of returning faces on our offense, which is always a good
absolutely.
thing.
Absolutely. Well, I'm excited about the talent on offense. I feel like we have really, obviously the quarterback is coming back, and Raheem Vance, 3-star quarterback. The kid can play. He can make plays all over the place. We have Britton Traylor returning as an outside receiver. We got a kid that moved in from ECS this year, Deuce Shannon, playing the X receiver, the other outside receiver. He's only 6'4", 200 pounds. He's a monster out there. Big, strong hands, can go up and get the ball. He's going to be a heck of a player for us over there. We've got Ethan Bobo at the H-back position. Ethan started at a lot of places for us last year and was kind of our Swiss Army knife. He's moved into the H-back spot, and I think he had 8 catches in the spring game from that spot. I mean, he's all over the place. He can do anything we ask him to do, and he's a big-time part of the offense. Back in the backfield, we've got Kylan Rhodes playing running back, so our starting running back, and I'm telling you, this guy is electric, y'all. He's a 4.44 laser time 40 kid, so that's NFL fast. And he's shifty. He can cut. He can make. He's powerful to end the runs, all that kind of stuff. So excited about him. And like I said, I think we have a much improved offensive line this year. That was probably one of our Achilles heels last year. Is we just, no fault to the kids up there, we just weren't very big.
Yeah.
We have put an emphasis this offseason on those kids eating and gaining weight, gaining muscle mass, put them in the weight room. And where last year we had one tackle, that our starting tackle on one side was 215, our tackle on the other side was 230. Playing 6A football, that's really hard. Well, this year we have one tackle is 255 pounds, the other one is 280 pounds. Now we're starting to look like a 6A offensive line, and we're 250, right at 250 pounds for both guards and the center. So we're a lot more physical up front and a lot bigger up front.
But if you watched any of their games last year, when you watched the other team's offensive line and looked at ours, it'd be 30, 40, 50 pounds difference.
Absolutely.
When you looked at compared them in size and weight, it was just a noticeable difference last year. So that's good to hear.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk a little bit about what's going on defense this year.
Well, of course, our defense is anchored by our 2 outside linebackers, Jerry Wall and Sam Walton. Those 2 guys have been with us. You know, Jerry's, of course, had Division I offers since his sophomore year. And physically, that kid is just so gifted, and it's so obvious when you see him and see him move on the football field, on the basketball court. I mean,
yes.
he's a different kind of kid. You can just see it immediately when he walks up. And then Sam on the other side is the other outside linebacker. He can make plays that other kids just can't make. Fast. You know, Sam had 6 sacks in one game when we moved him over to defense last year at the end of the year. He's going to do a great job. We had a kid move in from Ohio by the name of Taylor Williams, who's really anchoring our secondary right now. He's going to be our one of our corners. Does a great job, plays the ball well, just a team leader on the back end there. And we've got some new young linebackers and on the inside that will just strike you. I mean, you talk about just come up and just hit somebody. Caleb McCool, Ethan Sanders, those 2 young cats inside, I'm telling you now, they will hit you. They love coming downhill. We've got another kid that's going to factor in there, Nehemiah Shields, another sophomore. And when he goes in there, he told the coach the other day, he said, I love taking on pullers. I love linebackers that love taking on pullers because, I mean, that is impressive, especially for a young kid. They all come downhill and strike you. On the other side, we've got Caleb Bobo, who's also starting as one of our stack inside linebackers. He's bringing, experience, and he's a senior, and so he's doing a great job at that other stack backer. So excited about us defensively. We've obviously got a lot of guys that haven't played a lot out there. We've really got 2 returning starters. So that's going to be a test as to how those guys react under the lights on Friday nights. But I'm excited about them. I'm excited about our defense. Coach Frazier does a great job, and we've got some new coaches that are doing a phenomenal job. I think Demario Richard, our defensive line coach, is just those guys are just feeding off of what he's teaching them on the defensive line. They're getting better every single day. We brought in a new outside linebacker coach by the name of Xavier Johnson, and he's doing a really good job with Jerry and Sam. He also is in charge of coaching the safeties. And then we have Michael Johnson, new corners coach, and he's working with the corners, and those guys are getting better every day. So our defense, every single day, from the day we started practice to now, I mean, the changes, the coaching, the amount that they have improved, impressive.
Okay, and our special team, we're bringing back kids that started as and played as freshmen, and
That's
now
right.
they're juniors. So
That's
we
right.
are in good hands with our special teams.
I definitely feel confident with our special teams. From the punt snapper with Dominic Puppo, who's a
Yeah.
heck of a quarterback of his own, and then also has been our starting snapper now for a couple of years. I feel comfortable with that. I feel comfortable with our punter, Logan Schultz. He's booming it and has gone to a bunch of camps this summer and has done a good job at those. Then you've got Austin Taylor, who's our kicker, who's he can get them down to the end zone now, which is really important. When he came in as a freshman and we got it to the 20, we were excited. Well, now we're kicking it down to the 5 or kicking it down to the goal line, and so it's just going to make a further field, a longer field for opposing offenses to have to go down.
Well, when the fans come back into the stadium this year, we got a brand new scoreboard for them to look at this year. Finally,
Absolutely. I tell you what, we're so excited about that. I think we kind of you walk in the facility right now, and it's we already have one of the nicest facilities around, and then now we put the new scoreboard up there. We put we've changed the in-game sound. We've got a new sound system for in-game music. We've got digital down marker. I mean, you walk in that facility. I mean, it'd be hard to find one that's better in the state of Mississippi, in my personal opinion, of a venue to play high school football.
it's
really
impressive walking there this year. All the changes that's going on, it really looks nice.
Yeah,
So we've got our first game Friday night, 7 o'clock.
that's right.
ECS coming into town. We've
Yep.
played them like the last 2 or 3 years, and
That's right.
looking forward to kickoff on Friday night.
I am too. They've got a new head coach, Coach Butler over there, and they're excited. They've already played one game.
Right.
They played one game, had 2 preseason scrimmages, so they've played against 3 opponents right now. We've played against none. So we're going to have to go to work this week and get ready to go and get our kids fired up about playing this game, because again they're basically on their 4th opponent. We're on our 1st opponent, and so that does hurt us a little bit with not getting an opportunity to play opponent last week, but we're ready to go to work.
Well, watching the scrimmage last Friday night, looks like our players are ready to hit somebody else rather than each other.
I think so.
I
I
think
think
they
so.
hit each other enough last week that they're ready to hit somebody fresh.
Well, look, they got so excited when we told them about the Blue and Gold Bowl, and they were getting an opportunity to hit each other and actually be on different teams and go out there and compete. They were so fired up about that. It was pretty funny watching them. There was definitely some competition out there Friday night.
Yes,
for sure.
there was. All right, folks, 7 o'clock, blue seats are still available. If y'all want to get a blue seat, go to the high school office there and you can get your blue seats. But I'd like to see the stands full for this first ball game. It's going to be a warm one, but we'll be there on OBTV Live. So hope to see you there at 7 o'clock Friday night. Thanks, everybody.